My name is Gary Brado, and I'm a documentary filmmaker and an entrepreneur. The economy is in less than perfect shape, and when the jobs go away, there's nothing left to do but get up and get creative. And there are people all over America doing just that. It's estimated that up to 85% of new businesses fail. So I'm going coast to coast to hear the personal stories of the people who beat the odds and started a successful business from the ground up. This is Startup.
The entrepreneurial spirit is alive and well. In Walsh College's Business Launch entrepreneurial community, consultants provide advice to aspiring business starters. More information available online.
The Chevrolet Volt, an everyday electric car with gas for longer trips. The nature of things to come. Chevrolet, find new roads.
American Express is proud to support startup and the millions of small businesses that put in the hard work to be open for business in neighborhoods across the country.
I'm on Country Club Road in Indianapolis, Indiana, and we're going to talk to Michael and Aaron, who created Promise Monsters. Now, over the past 3 years, these guys have put everything they have into a business that simply encourages people to be kind to one another. You buy a monster, and it has a secret mission of kindness inside. Let's go hear their story and find out why these two are definitely not afraid of monsters.
The size of the U.S. toy industry is estimated at over $20 billion. Parents spent an average of $284 per year on toys in 2010, and the U.S. market for toys and games are anticipated to grow to $22.98 billion through 2014. Mike and Aaron wanted to teach their own children about the importance of doing good deeds, so they turned their family values into a business in the form of plush, hand-stuffed monsters on a mission. The first time that the concept of Promise Monsters came up, paint that picture for me. Tell me that story.
It's a good story. We worked together, and my son Scout drew a monster, so I just hung it up on my cube at work. And it hung there for a while, and then one day Aaron, who was on the same team as me, walked by and said, "Hey, that's a great drawing, you should do something with it." So we decided what we do is we take these monsters and we put them on cards, and then we draw kind sayings on them. So it said things like, "I promise someone loves you," "I promise your day will be okay," just nice sayings. And we hit them all over town. So it started with that. And then she kind of started coming over and started helping out, and we said we want to do more with this. We had a really good time making people feel better. The kids like doing it, we like doing it. So we said, well, why don't we just make these into real stuffed monsters?
So you buy the stuffed monster, and they come with a monster mission, which is a random act of kindness that the kid goes out and does. And when they finish it, there's a code that they can scratch off, and then they enter that on our website, and they can pick a reward for themselves or their monster, like a stocking cap or a sleeping bag for their monster, something fun like that.
Or they could do things like give a donation to Riley Hospital, to the Humane Society if they don't want, something else for their monster. Mm-hmm.
How long does it take for a monster to be built from beginning to end? One monster.
Our goal is 30 minutes. So
30 minutes.
30 minutes to do one.
What kind of volume are you guys doing? Because that seems like a lot of time for a monster.
Yeah, it is.
In an 8-hour day, I mean, let's say with lunch, you'd call that 16 monsters, but maybe realistically 10 to 14?
Yeah, it's not a very high volume that we get out. And right now what we have is 8 people that work part-time for us, so they kind of come and go based off of their own hours. So they'll just pick up a job and work through that and then leave it there for the next person to come. So we don't typically have a monster made front to back in 30 minutes. It takes over several days before it gets completed. So then we make several prototypes. We show them to the kids. Does this look kind of like what you were thinking? And they say, no, yes, a little bit more of this. And then eventually we wind up with one. This one is Spike, and this one is Frank. And we've got the drawings inside the tags. There's Frank there. And then this one is Squiggly.
Plush toy sales dropped from $1.47 billion in sales in 2011 to $1.26 billion in 2012.
I want to make my first monster.
Okay, all right, it's pretty exciting
I'm
stuff.
very
So we
excited.
start with this really soft fabric, and then we take our pattern and we cut out a square. So we have our giant fabric cutting scissors.
Right here?
Yep.
Okay.
And then we take it
Incredible.
over to our embroidery station here. So then we go to the pieces section, and then you do about 3 stitches forward.
Whoa.
And then you push this to go back, and then go forward all the way down to there. Just don't slice any fingers off.
All right, let's
All
stuff.
right, you want to stuff one. So we flip them, you'll turn them inside out.
Okay.
And then you just push the start. There you go.
Awesome. This goes over here.
And then you push the foot pedal, but hold on to the monster. He'll go flying if you don't.
Okay, so very softly press. How much stuffing for a?
Just a little bit.
And then after it's all said and done, you just do you take it back and actually sew the hole?
Yeah, we then sew the hole and then we package it up.
Wow. My very first monster. It's a nice stuffing machine you got there.
Thanks. This is a key piece of equipment that we've gotten lately. It cut the stuffing time down by like 75–80% because we were doing it by hand.
Where do you want these to be sold?
Where we want them to be sold, we love being in independent toy stores and gift shops, places like that. So we don't have any ideals going into Walmart or Target, any of the big box retailers. That's not who we are. But we would love to be in a great cross-section across the country of independent toy stores and independent gift shops.
What I love about it is just that my boys now have a more tangible way to understand kindness. I think it's a hard concept at times for little kids. And so I think this allows them to have this fun thing and to feel sneaky while they're being kind.
The global toy market is estimated to be worth $84 billion in 2012, $20 billion of which are attributable to the U.S. market. Let's talk about social media and how important that's been for your business.
A lot of our sales come through, I think, Facebook posts that get liked and get noticed, especially Facebook. Twitter seems to do less, but...
And when they share.
And they share, right. And we put our kind stories out on Facebook. When kids send in a really good one, we'll share it. We'll send updates from our family. So we try hard to make it a connection, not just posts about what's for sale.
Well, and the big thing that we're constantly having to remember too is it's long term. You know, you have to keep putting in the time over and over again with promoting yourself online through Facebook and Twitter. It's not like you just post a tweet and all of a sudden you'll get a sale. You have to continuously build that up. And we've noticed now if we stop posting, things do drop off, but it usually takes a few days before you feel that effect of things.
Tell me about some of the risks that are affiliated with what you guys have done.
Well, I mean, the biggest risk was when we got this space. It was, you know, we were committing to a year's lease and having to come up with that money every month instead of doing it at our house.
How did you get the initial funding to even create this business in the first place?
It's been difficult. We put every bit of savings we ever had into it. I still work because I'm funding the losses that we have. As well as, you know, as we've gone along, we've made sales, and so everything has gone straight back in.
Any loan?
No loans yet.
Pretend that I'm in your shoes 3 years ago, 4 years ago. What advice would you give to yourself?
It's a lot harder than you're going to expect, and just keep going. It'll pay off in the end, and it feels really good to know that you're making progress and doing some good. And
similar to raising kids, you forget the hard stuff. As time goes on, you just remember the good things that happen.
Well, thank you guys so much for talking.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Really appreciate your time. Starting a business is never easy, but this is yet another example of a successful entrepreneur who put passion before profit. When your mission statement is simply to spread kindness, how can anybody go wrong? For more information, log on to our website and click the link for Promise Monsters.
Visit our website at startup-usa.com and like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
What do you call organic food? What did they call organic food in 1950?
No idea.
Food.
Exactly. Exactly.
American Express is proud to support startup and the millions of small businesses that put in the hard work to be open for business in neighborhoods across the country.
The Chevrolet Volt, an everyday electric car with gas for longer trips. The nature of things to come. Chevrolet, find new roads.
The entrepreneurial spirit is alive and well. In Walsh College's business launch entrepreneurial community, consultants provide advice to aspiring business starters. More information available online